Welcome to this week's edition of Courtside. I'm your host, John Brown, with the head coach, Chris Talley. It's playoff basketball here for the Springford Rams, and we're well into the District 1 playoffs. Coach, good to be back here in the studio. We took a little break, not a lot of games to talk about, so we thought we'd make a big compilation here episode for everybody.
Yeah, Coach, thanks again for having me. I feel like a lot of time has passed, but not a lot of games have been played, but here we are, and it's postseason basketball, and we're still alive.
Yeah, we were doing shows where we were talking about 5-6 games at a time right now.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about time, and you just like those games are just the playoff basketball. It's almost at a stage of don't come ready to play, and it's the end of the season for you there too.
Yeah, there's not many teams left, and so there's not a lot of teams to talk about, and they spread the games out a little bit, and we're lucky to be here.
All right, so we got to go back here. We got to talk about the PAC playoffs.
Yeah.
First off, kudos to Methacton. Put together a really good string of 3 basketball games, and even just before that, too, they're just probably one of the hottest teams in District 1 out of anybody that's left right now, too.
Yeah, I mean, they're the best team in the league, and I think they proved it, and all their wins down the stretch were pretty convincing.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they squeaked by anybody. They pretty much gave it to everybody. And, congrats to Coach Durstein and his staff. I know they're big fans of the show.
Always watching down there.
Dave Ford is a loyal listener. He increases our click rates a little bit. But, it's a tough matchup, with those guys for sure.
And especially in that game, they shot the ball lights out. I think they shot better from 3 than they did the whole game. It was like 67, 68%, something like that. An outrageous number. And you're just not going to win basketball games when teams shoot the ball that well, too.
Yeah, if I remember, again, it was a little while ago now, but I think they had 11 threes at halftime.
Yeah. 50 at halftime, I think, was the number, too.
Yeah. So
Do you still talk about the trying to keep his team under a certain amount of points or something like that? Like, is that discussions you have with the kids?
Yeah, there's
some magic numbers that exist out there.
Not like it used to be. I know you guys always had less than. We argued about this on a show before. I thought it was 48 or something.
54.
54.
I think 54 is the number.
Yeah, no, we don't have.
We'll have to talk to Coach Caldwell, but the stats were outrageous prior to your tenure as coach. That if you held a team under 54, you're winning basketball games.
Yeah, well, we don't have that hard line number, but
Okay.
certainly 50 at halftime is something we'd like to avoid.
And it was once again, I felt like it was another game early in the year when you played against them. Baker did have a big game for you, but then just the other guys just kind of tough time putting the ball in the basket a little bit for you.
Yeah, they're with Woodward in there, he can kind of just lurk, and once you get by one defender, they have the luxury of having 6'9", 260 kind of waiting there for you, and it's tough to shoot over him, and he just impacts the game in so many ways that doesn't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. So,
and then we also want to talk about here before we start talking districts. You, Methacton, PV, Norristown all still remain. So 4 6A teams. There's only 16 left. You got a quarter of the field still left in the district play. It just shows how tough this league here, especially the big school side, was this year in PAC basketball.
Yeah, I think Coach Reber brought it up. I think it was after the championship game or before the district game that I think we had 8 or 9 losses, and all of our losses except one were from teams that have a first-round bye.
Yeah, wow.
So
okay.
2 Norristown, 2 Methacton, 1 PV, 1 Penridge.
CB West was the only one but they won their first-round game, so they're still alive in the district playoffs.
So all our losses are I don't want to say good losses, but
quality opponents.
To your point, it shows how good our league was this year.
And then Methacton, we said, ran through. They defeated PJP in the semifinals. The other semifinals, we had another upset. Norristown, with that great regular season, just kind of fell a little short against PV. And then Methacton, PV in the final. They'd split during the regular season, but they really took the ball out of Stretch A's hands in the final for PV.
I didn't go to the game. My daughter had a game the same time, same night, and that it was a big 5th grade girls game that Coach Talley needed to be at. But I saw a couple clips and some highlights, and it looks like they denied Stretch A and just made it miserable for them.
All right, we got to do it. We'll show the highlights here from your game versus Methacton in the final 6 starting grid, whatever you want to call that. Quarterfinals?
The PAC playoffs.
PAC playoff quarterfinals.
Yeah. Let's check them out.
All right, check them out.
All right, what do we got here? We're in the...
You're in the blue.
The home team is Methacton in the white, and that's us in the blues. Kovaleski with a nice steal there. It's good to get a...
Here you are, pressing still.
Yep, and that's...
Them trying to go deep. Deflection by Bobek.
Yeah. Scrocky getting us in our offense. Who's that? Schlingo. Good ball movement there.
Nice.
Yeah, nice to see Scrocky get involved early. He's only a sophomore, Coach.
You'll have him back.
Yep. There's
Little and one for Baker.
Yeah, that was a and one, and they called the foul on the person attempting to take the charge, which doesn't always happen.
Another 3-ball for the Rams.
It's Fitzgerald, came off the bench. I think he had 2 threes in the game. He's been playing well as of late. We got Woodward up top here. You know, he just sees that whole court, Coach.
Yeah. And you don't want to, the idea is you need some help there with Bobek, so you don't want to put too much pressure on the ball, too.
Yeah. There's
spin.
Copyrighted spin move from Baker. There's a Dante Benani covering Gerardo, and the young sophomore John France getting his hands on the ball.
Some guys getting some minutes, some playoff minutes here.
Yeah, at that point, we kind of wanted to make sure we stayed healthy.
So you went down. You did go to the other side. You sat on the away side.
Yeah.
Well, I know we talked about it in the last show.
Yeah, we did.
A lot of debate.
Yeah. There's Nate Santiago. That's something he does really well. Yeah, as far as the bench goes, I don't think we had a choice. We showed up and they said, you're on this bench, and we said, okay.
Okay. Were you Rams on the board or were you guests on the board?
That's another good question.
I ask a lot of good ones. I'm trying my best right now.
That stuff to me is,
You don't even think about it.
No.
You're a big picture guy. I like the little questions.
I do like the details, but that night it was,
Oh, we also want to say here, got it in my ear, congratulations to the girls basketball. Springford Rams won another back-to-back titles for them. They took care of Methacton in the girls final.
Convincingly, yeah.
And now they're in the quarterfinals. They had to buy. I think they play Haverford. I think.
Yeah, from Delco.
Delco.
Yeah.
Central League.
Central League, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right, Coach. That's segment 1 here. We're going to come back and talk some district basketball. All right.
You got it.
All right. Take a quick commercial break, and we will talk about the game with Council Rock North.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back to Courtside. I'm your host, John Brennan, with head coach Chris Talley. All right, Coach, here, district playoffs, 6A, 5A, they're all rocking and rolling here. The 6A started off last week.
Yep.
You guys hosted Council Rock North. You were the 13 seed?
Yes.
They're the 20?
Yes.
They were just down this way, too. They'd played PV 2 weeks prior or something like that there. So talk about what you thought about Council Rock North before you guys even played the game.
Watching them on film, the one thing you saw was how big and strong they were. Now, I don't mean they weren't 6'8", 6'5", anything like that, but they were 5'11" and up and strong and tough kids. So that was one thing that stuck out on film was these kids play hard and they're tough and they're not really backing down from anyone. So
and really, besides that PV loss, they had a really good stretch coming down the end of the year to get themselves into the playoffs and all the way up to that 20 seed too. Yeah,
offensively, it wasn't like they were scoring 70 a game or anything close to that.
Yeah.
But they held quite a few teams in the 30s this year. So that was something that certainly caught our attention.
And it was a game of runs, you would say. You guys got off to a great start. They come back, and in the fourth quarter, you're trailing in the basketball game a little bit out there too. So talk about what's going through your mind. What did we need to improve on, especially when you were talking down the stretch? So.
Yeah, we were up 10 in the third quarter, and you just could feel that it wasn't safe. It wasn't comfortable. We had foul trouble. We had injuries. We had all kinds of stuff going on. So you just never felt like you were safe. And yeah, they went on a 13-0 run after we were down 10, or after we were up 10 to put them up 3, and then the seesaw kind of started from there.
And one thing down the stretch, you guys were really good at making some free throws there too. Sometimes high school basketball, I don't know, I'd have to look it up. What are your stats from the free throw line for the year?
Yeah, we're close to 70%.
Okay, really good. Okay, it's a good free throw shooting team for high school basketball.
Yeah, going into the Methacton game, we were right around there. I haven't checked it since, but I think we were 20 for 28 against Council Rock North. Bobeck was 7 for 7 and 6 for 6 down the stretch.
Yeah.
And Kovaleski was, I think, 7 for 12 from the line, and those two kind of shouldered the scoring load, which was good to see others step up.
Right, and that's what I was going to say too. The idea is Baker did foul out, didn't have the amount of court time you would usually see out of him.
Right.
You needed some other guys to make some contributions, and they did, and which shows that you guys do have some depth out there, and teams got to guard all 5 of your guys out there too.
Yeah, and you touched on Baker, but Schlingo missed the whole second half. So that's your first and second leading scorers. There's a lot of points out there that are missing, and Bobeck, Kovaleski, Hagen hit a huge shot down the stretch. Fitzgerald came in, scored and contributed, and John Franz, who doesn't play too much as a sophomore, he came in. It was good to get contributions from everybody. It was just one of those grind out, gritty wins. And
now you're still alive, and no matter what with the result tonight with Penridge, you're still playing basketball because they're taking 10, right? 10 go to states, or they're 9?
10.
10 go to states. So no matter what happens with Penridge, we're still playing basketball, and we'll talk about that when we show the bracket here in a little bit. But before so, highlights, Spring Ford, Council Rock North.
Yep. Back to the home whites, Coach.
Now you're in the whites on the same court.
Yeah, I knew that was bothering you.
We're still pressing.
Yep. We didn't come up with that.
Oh, the kids wanted the out of bounds. Look at the kids. Did you see that?
No.
Our student section wanted the kid out of bounds.
On them.
Yes.
There's the first trap we didn't get, but you could see that they weren't comfortable with the pressure early. And Schlingo does what he does, and then here's him again on the break for 5 early points for him before he got hurt. And now we got Bobeck. I think Bobeck had inside and out. Kovaleski
going to the offensive glass.
Yeah. It was good ball movement, though. Went in and out. And Scrocky making
another 3 ball.
Making life easy for Hagen there. Hagen.
Nice.
There we go.
Little steal, easy basket.
Yeah, early on they I don't know if they were ready for the pressure or if they just weren't comfortable with it, but that
is that kind of their offense, that a lot of backdoor stuff? Is that what you saw from Council Rock?
Yeah, they do a lot of sets like that. Very similar to PV in that manner. Bobeck doing a good job of sealing in there.
Wants to give him the ball.
There's another and one. I think Council Rock North may have had a record of charge attempts in that game, and there was another one you could see. Hagen again. He's shooting with a lot of confidence. You could see in a lot of these highlights, Kovaleski is kind of all over the place, which was great.
Yeah, you saw him right there trying to get ready to take another charge there, too.
Yep.
3-ball miss. Baker goes to the offensive glass.
Puts it back.
I think they might have called that charge. I think that might have been a charge call, though.
I think
they were going the other way.
Our highlight guy might have mixed that one up, but did you see an offensive foul there? It wasn't a good angle for me.
I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't
You're
really
a referee,
tell. I couldn't tell in that angle right there. So
I get it. There's a brotherhood. You don't want to.
Well, yeah. Listen, I've been on this show for basketball and football, and I've worn some stripes, and coaches try to peer pressure me into making I'm not there, I'm not the one with the whistle in my mouth.
No, I was just asking objectively if you thought that was an offensive foul.
I couldn't tell from that. I couldn't tell from that angle right there. It's
All
just
right.
too far away. Maybe if we had from the back of the wall camera. Football has the behind the end zone camera. Maybe that's what we got to invest in. Get one so you can see it from both angles.
It's a pretty good angle.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. We have the district bracket here. Let's change it on here. Let's talk about districts. All right. So here we are. We're playing Penn Ridge. You're also in a little mini bracket with Norristown, CB West. Above you got Abington, Downingtown West. People say you want to avoid Abington like the plague.
Yeah.
PV's hosting a tough Cheltenham team here tonight.
Yeah.
And then the bottom half, you got Coatesville, Downingtown, East, little Chesmont matchup. There's Methacton, one of the hottest teams. They're going to play CB South. Wonder if Coach Durstein was asking for that film.
Yeah.
And then Lower Merion, Conestoga, another Central League matchup. And the bottom then, look at this one tonight.
Yeah. Chester
hosts Plymouth White Marsh. Wow, it used to be powerhouses in District 1. Now, so we're telling everybody here is still alive.
Yes.
Win or lose here tonight.
Yes.
Winners guaranteed spot in the top 8.
They punched their ticket.
And then losers will play in that little mini bracket right there, better seed hosting. So
yes. Yeah, so great point that if you lose tonight, your season is still not over. But then you got to win. I believe it's 2 more games to get those final 2 spots.
All right, so we're just going to say seeds play out.
Yeah.
Penn Ridge plays Norristown next round. Then you'd host CB West, so you guys know our opponents against one another.
So are you conceding that we lost to Penn Ridge?
I'm just saying seeds play out.
Okay.
And then in the top, you'd have Abington, PV moving on, Cheltenham, Downingtown West. Seeds play out there. You beat CB West. Cheltenham beats Downingtown West. You would essentially go to Cheltenham to play a game to make qualify for states.
Yeah.
Okay, right? I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we got a game here tonight against Penn Ridge. We've already seen them this year, too.
Yes.
So usually, sometimes it's odd because a lot of these teams have played against one another during the year.
Yeah.
For those making the trip tonight, like Coach Sheck and I
heard about that.
Yeah, we're a little road trip. We'll see. We're trying to recruit a couple other teachers to make the trip down during the day. Make a little day of it,
What else do you have to do before the weather comes tomorrow?
Right. Yeah. Go down, check out the action. Great atmosphere down there at Penn Ridge. They play kind of like in that smaller type of gym, too.
Not many lights. The crowd's right on top of you. It's a good atmosphere.
And we were saying in the break, you played in this game one of your first. Was it your first year? Or no, it was the Ganias team, right? The team that went on the stage. You guys were the 12, they were the 5, and you won. I think you won by 2 or something, 1 or something like that.
Overtime.
Down there. Yeah, it was a great game down there.
Yeah, probably one of the, defining games of our coaching career. And, they always have tough kids, a tough environment. Coach Behrens is a really good coach, a really good guy. And one thing is when you go there, the Penn Ridge, the kids are going to play hard. So.
All right, so things we're going to see tonight. They're going to run good stuff on offense. They're going to play really hard. Switch, if I remember, they're big switchers. They're switching almost everything out.
Not
in the
this year.
They're non-switchers.
No, yeah.
Okay, that's a
hard hedge and recover.
Okay, and you're also going to see their best player. Talk about their best player here tonight.
Yeah, Sean Yoder, he's going to the Naval Academy. Some think he could have went a level higher. I agree. He's as good as it gets. Talking to one coach who will keep anonymous because you never know who's watching here, Coach.
A lot of coaches watch this show. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to give away your network here, your alliances, but they said he's the best player they've seen since Khalif Wyatt.
Wow.
So that's pretty good company there, and again he's good. He's under control. He makes the right play. He covers the other team's best athlete. Could be a 6'5" guy. Could be a 5'9" guy. He'll rebound. He'll get 8 or 9 assists somehow, some way. So. He's fun to watch, and we have our hands full with him tonight.
When I've been watching about him, he's just always calm. There's no panic in him, and whatever's going on in the game, it doesn't matter. He's calm. He's let the game come to him. He'll do what he needs to do out there. There's no, I got to do all this. You don't see that in him at all.
No, we were up 11 or 12 in the third quarter, and if you look at his body language, you never would know. He didn't care. He didn't phase it, and then he kind of took the game over.
All right, so those traveling to Penn Ridge here tonight, tip time is
7 p.m.
And no matter what, win or loss, the next game is going to be Friday, right?
Friday we'll either play Norristown or
CB West.
Central Bucks West.
No matter what.
No matter what.
And if you're playing Norristown, you're going there. If you're playing CB West, you're the host.
Which you already have us here, or right?
No. I'm just saying, if you played CB West, it's at home.
Yeah.
CB West could go down there and beat Norristown. You could beat Penridge here tonight, and then that's a quarterfinal matchup right there.
That's how it works. Yeah.
That's right. All right, Coach. Well, best of luck to you and the crew tonight at Penridge.
Thank you.
All right, make sure you tune in next week as we recap the game with Penridge and the continued District 1 bracket. For the head coach, Chris Talley, I'm John Brennan. See you next time, Courtside.